Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my sexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. So today I'm reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So I've not long got back from the cinema. And I'm not even sure if this is the correct English that I'm speaking tonight. I'm a little bit sleepy. So, yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, 3D movie I saw at the cinema. And all I can say is it's a very weird film. So if you don't want spoilers, please do not watch the rest of this video. Okay, so I don't know where to start with this film. This whole film is really, really weird. It's not my favorite of the Marvel films whatsoever. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was very unbelievable, a lot of it, which I don't usually think with superhero movies. But there is one theme that runs throughout the whole of the movie, and that is his life is weird. So Ant-Man's starts off by saying his whole life is weird. Like it doesn't make sense. And so it starts off the movie like that, and it does that at the end as well by saying it doesn't make sense. And so I would actually agree with that. It a lot of it, I mean, there was a storyline, but it just didn't, and it did make sense of the storyline, but in the whole thing, I just doesn't make sense, as in it was a bit like boring. I don't know if I can say that. It wasn't boring as in the sense there was no action. It was just like this storyline is not that great. And it was really, really, really weird. I suppose the good thing about it was it's weird. It was that weird. It was kind of like unimaginable. But that's why I didn't like it, because it's like I like to be able to imagine things and be believable. But I just thought it was too childlike, I guess, and too unbelievable to actually be taken seriously. Like I was laughing when Ant-Man was getting hurt because of the things that were hurting him and the things that were like firing and stuff. So basically, Ant-Man Ant-Man's daughter is basically using her powers without him really knowing, and she's basically, when he was away with the blip, his daughter created this quantum leap type of device. So basically it can send a signal back in the quantum realm, and it can track people in the quantum realm and find out where they are. But what happens is she sends a signal back to the quantum realm, and she wakes someone up from the quantum realm. If you like, the quantum realm is able to like know where she is and the whole family is. So this is Ant-Man, Hope, which is the Wasp, his partner, and the Wasp's mother and dad, basically. So they've all got like powers, and they all end up being sucked back into this quantum realm where the mother, Hope's mother, used to be, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. And so when we saw Hope's mum before, we kind of just saw this one world where she was in, and these different creatures. Now, when you go into this realm, it's like it's a completely different realm. So it kind of was very lacking in continuity for me in that way. But it's supposed to be a new story, and it's supposed to be based on the old quantum realm. The fact that there are multiverses, this is where the multiverse theory is coming in, and the fact that within these actual quantum realm, there are multiple different worlds within it, in the underworld, if you like, under the world that we see. And so when they go back into this underworld and this quantum realm, they end up seeing all these different creatures. And it's some of it is just too unbelievable. It just made me laugh. They've got this one thing that's like a jelly, and it's got tentacles, which is like a snail. They had a few snail-like creatures down there, almost like deer, like a deer's body with tentacles, like a snail. They had a couple of those stood up. That was really weird. And then they've got this like pink blobby thing, which has got like antennae like snails as well. But it's like internal, and it's just like weird. It's like, what the hell is this blobby thing? And they have houses that have legs and arms and stuff like that. It's just weird. It's really, really friggin' weird. If you like weird, you're gonna absolutely love this movie. If you don't like weird, or if you don't like weird to the point where it's really unbelievable and you can't stop laughing at how idiotic it looks, then you might not like this film at all. Like, I did think it got to the point of looking really idiotic, and for me, I don't usually say this about Marvel films, but for me, it just kind of spoiled it. I was so, like, thinking this is just so hilarious that I can't take some of the fight scenes and the dying scenes and the hurt scenes seriously, because it's just like these creatures are just too unbelievable for me. They just seem too childlike and too, like, not good. So, anyway, it's just really, really strange, and they have to drink this liquid that looks like blood, but it's not meant to be blood, but you kind of think it is till they drink it, and it's just like a juice, like goo, I think they call it, and when they take it, they can hear what the aliens are saying. So, Michelle Pfeiffer, who plays Hope's mum, has been keeping secrets from the whole family about what was actually down in this quantum realm, and she didn't even tell them that it had multiple, like, different worlds. But to cut a long story short, the movie follows the fact that Hope's mum is not really being honest, and there's this thread of something like danger gonna happen to them. Ant-Man, his daughter, gets separated from Hope, which is the Wasp, and Hope's parents. So they get separated, and the whole point of the movie really is bringing them back together to get back to get back to the world that they were sucked out of, because when Ant-Man's daughter sent a signal back to quantum realm, it literally opened that up and sucked them in. So I think it's a very, very basic storyline. I was a little bit disappointed with the storyline. I was just thinking this is just too basic stuff. Like, it's like you're sucked back into a realm, you're trapped there, you're separated, and you've got to get back together and find your way home. That was basically the premise of the whole movie. And then down there, you find that there's this guy, and that Hope's mum um is like wanted, like a bit like a criminal down there, for basically walking away and leaving them to die or whatever in this world, because but she did it for a good reason, and that was because this guy was down there. I think he's called Kong. So, like, he's not a good guy, he's a conqueror. He thinks he's a conqueror, and basically what happened was they were trapped down there, and he had this time machine, and it was like it's a like a ship type thing, and basically they needed Hope's mum and him needed to fix it so they could go back to the time when she came through into the quantum realm. This is Hope's mum in the previous movie they're talking about. When she came back through, they're saying that this time machine was going to be built so she could come back through quicker, rather than spending 30 years of her life down there. And so she spent this time with this guy, thought he was really nice because she saved his life, then didn't realize until the time machine was built that she helped him to build, that he's actually a very dangerous guy, who literally seeks revenge and kills universes and destroys trillions of lives. And so what happened in the previous life while she was down there for 30 years was the fact that she was able to see his mind after she'd helped him build this machine. I don't really understand how she gets that, because she can't usually read minds. But when she basically touches this thing that allows them to travel back in time together, so he can drop her home, if you like, she sees his memories, and she realizes that he's an evil conqueror who just wants to kill loads of people and get rid of loads of planets and universes, and basically, like, rule the whole universe as a whole. And so she has to stop him, so she literally shatters this this element that allows them to go back. I'll call it an element that allows them to go back in time, and she literally shatters it so that neither of them can get back, but that means he can't rule the universe and hurt other people, because he can't get back. So you find out throughout the film that he was sent there in exile because the people are so scared of him. So that was basically the gist of the film. I saw it in 3D. I am so glad I saw it in 3D because I think the film would not have been as good had I not seen it in 3D. 3D actually made it a lot better because I didn't think the storyline was great. I thought it was a bit boring. I thought it was a bit too obvious. And, the 3D just made it really good. The Quantumania bit, I guess, was when Ant-Man and Wasp, particularly Ant-Man, went first to try and find this element, if you like, that would allow them to go back into the back through the quantum realm into the earth or whatever. But the guy who's a conqueror, he wants that for himself to conquer the world, basically the universe. So there's a lot of fighting in the end, but partway through, the baddie's got Ant-Man's daughter, and so he summons Ant-Man to go and get this element back that Hope's mum destroyed from the previous time she was down there. And Ant-Man and Wasp have to put it back together. But there is a bit in the Quantumania where they go in and it says it plays with your mind, and literally there's loads and loads of Ant-Mans everywhere, like tons of them, because it plays with your mind, and they call it the realm of possibility, and it's all these different versions of Ant-Man. They look pretty much the same, the majority of them, although one's dressed up in like gear when he worked in a shop or takeaway or something, I think it was. But it's really, that bit is interesting. It's very good photography, very good cinematography, very good the way it's done. And there's just like so many Ant-Mans. You're just filled up with Ant-Mans, and that is very, very clever. And then when Wasp comes in to help Ant-Man, there's more Wasps. And so this bit of the movie is good. It's very good in 3D. I did love the special effects in 3D. I honestly thought it made the film so much better. So if you are going to see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I highly recommend seeing it in 3D. I do love 3D. It's more expensive, but it gives you a much better experience, in my opinion. Some people, though, I know who wear glasses don't have such a good experience, but I don't wear glasses and I really love 3D. So there's no sex in it. So that's good. That's a bonus for asexuals who are sex repulsed and not interested in sex. There's no sex in it. Ant-Man and the Wasp do have a relationship, but it's portrayed as more like trust, friendship, and some romance as well. But you don't even see them kissing that much though. So I'd say it's really, really suitable for the majority of asexuals. You're gonna pretty much love it if you love superhero movies and if you don't mind corny storylines and stuff like that. So I would recommend going and see it. The special effects, like I said, are really good. There's one bit in the end where all these ants come out as well. There's hundreds of them. That was a really good part of the movie. I liked that. I wasn't totally expecting that because I'd forgotten about them. But yeah, these ants were amazing. There's lots of fight scenes at the end. And so it is good. And you think in this movie, like I said, you should always watch the credits with Marvel because it always shows more stuff. So if you watch the credits, you would know that the guy that you think is dead, actually in the quantum realm, there's multiple of him. And in the credits, you end up in the very last bit of the credits, you end up seeing him multiple times over, and it says he will be back. So you think the guy's dead and it's just other versions of him are still alive, so it doesn't really matter that he died in this one anyway. And the Ant-Man's questioning where he was really dead or not. So this is really interesting. So they are going to make more movies, clearly. I was a bit disappointed with the storyline. I thought the creatures were a bit too exaggerated and too childlike to be taken seriously a lot of the time. And I just thought the storyline was a little bit been done before to death. And it's like, can we get another storyline, please? It was a bit boring, I thought. But the special effects were good. Um, the multiple Ant-Mans, multiple Wasp, and multiple ants, they were good. It's nice to see Ant-Man's daughter in it doing a lot more stuff. I appreciated that. And it was nice overall. I'd say it's nice, but it's not that great. But if it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray, or you get a chance to watch it, then I'd say definitely do it. But if you're going to think about paying for the cinema, I think twice about paying to see it at the cinema because it's not really totally worth the money in the sense it's not the best Marvel film. But if you do decide, I would recommend to see it in 3D if you can. There's only one 3D performance they're showing each day or evening, I should say, in my local cinema, which is really strange, but that's the way it is. So yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed this film review. If you have, please leave a comment. If you've seen the movie, what did you think? Did you like it? What did you think of the storyline? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? What do you think could have been done better? Yeah, and I'll see you soon in the next real live stream. Take care. Lots of love and see you soon. Bye.